Listen to me carefully, because this is going to sting, but it will also set you free forever. Stop chasing people. Stop begging them to stay. Stop breaking your own heart trying to fix what was never meant for you. Why? Because you were not born to impress people who can't even see your worth. You were not born to shrink, to fit into someone's small idea of love, respect, or friendship. You were born to focus on you, on your mind, your dreams, your body, your soul. Do you know the secret that no one tells you? The more you focus on yourself, the more they want you. Yes, the world notices the woman who walks away gracefully, unapologetically, fiercely. A woman who is not begging for attention becomes the center of attention. The moment you stop waiting for their call, they call. The moment you stop checking your phone, they text. The moment you stop proving your worth, they start realizing it. But here's the twist. By then, you are so busy building yourself, so full of your own joy, your own life, you won't even care anymore. This is the real power. This is the fire they can't handle. So darling, focus on yourself. Let them go. Because when you glow, the right ones will find you, and the wrong ones will regret ever losing you. Self-focus is not selfish. It's sacred. It's the moment you stop seeking validation from the outside and start honoring the empire that already exists within you. You know what's magnetic? A woman who minds her business, glows differently, and builds herself quietly. There's something about her that makes people pause, mid-sentence, mid-screen, mid-life, because her energy speaks before she does. And here's the twist. She's not doing it for anyone. She's doing it for herself. Look around. Have you ever noticed how the people who are constantly trying to please others often feel the most drained? The girl who's always available, always saying yes, always putting herself last, she burns out first. But the woman who says, no, I need this time for me, is often the one glowing with energy. That's not coincidence. That's self-focus. She's not waiting for the world to choose her. She's already chosen herself. Think about this. You go to the gym, not for them to see your body, but for you to feel your strength. You read that book not to impress, but to elevate your mind. You eat healthy, journal, meditate, not because it looks good online, but because it feels good within. Every little habit you commit to in silence is a thread weaving your power. And suddenly, they all look at you and wonder, what's changed? It's simple. You've turned inward. In school, remember the quiet girl who didn't try to be popular? She focused on her work, on her peace. And now years later, she's the one running her own business, living a life that people only dream about. Why? Because she didn't waste her energy proving. She invested it in improving. When you choose to invest in your personal growth over pleasing people, your future self will thank you with a life beyond imagination. Let's take another example. Social media. You ever noticed how people who constantly post about their relationships, their status, their drama, they rarely seem happy? Now look at someone who barely shares, who lives privately, focuses on her career, her routines, her family. She radiates a different kind of peace. She doesn't need to scream, because her presence whispers power. That's the magnetic field of self-focus. People feel it, even in your silence, even in love. Oh, especially in love. The girl who chases, who texts first every time, who waits by the phone, she becomes predictable. But the girl who says, if he doesn't choose me, I'll still choose myself, is the one they can't forget. Why? Because she's not begging to be seen. She already sees herself. That's the real glow up. When you no longer crave attention, you become the one that gets it effortlessly. It's not about isolating yourself from the world. It's about centering yourself within the world. You can still be kind, loving, generous, but now you're pouring from a full cup. You're giving from overflow, not emptiness. And that changes everything. People treat you differently. Opportunities find you. Peace surrounds you. Self-focus is the ultimate comeback. When you're tired of proving, tired of explaining, tired of fixing others, turn the mirror inward. Work on your skin, your peace, your dreams, your finances, your glow, and soon the same people who once ignored your presence will feel disturbed by your absence. That's the kind of power no words can manufacture. Only self-focus can. Letting go is not weakness. It is silent, fierce, unshakable power. The world has taught you that holding on shows strength, but it is letting go that shows real courage. The ability to walk away without noise, without drama, without explanation. That is rare, and rare things always hold the most value. When you let go, you are not giving up. You are leveling up. You are telling life, I deserve more than this confusion, this delay, this half-hearted presence. Look around in daily life. The strongest people you know are the ones who released what no longer served them. The woman who left that job after years of disrespect. The friend who stopped texting back when the energy wasn't matched. The girl who unfollowed quietly, who stopped chasing, who stopped waiting for closure. These are not the broken ones. These are the dangerous ones. Because they discovered that their peace is more precious than someone else's inconsistent love. Have you seen a tree in autumn? It lets go of its leaves without fear, knowing that spring will bring new life. The tree does not cling. The tree does not beg the leaves to stay. Nature understands what humans forget. Nothing new can grow if you do not release the old. And in life it is the same. The job you hate, the friendship that drains you, the man who keeps breaking promises. The moment you let go, space is created for something bigger, something worthy. A girl once waited 3 years for her best friend to start respecting her time, her dreams. She gave until she had nothing left but resentment. The day she walked away, something magical happened. She slept better. She smiled more. New people appeared. Fresh energy entered. Doors opened. Why? Because she dared to let go of dead weight. And when you remove what burdens you, you rise. Always. Even relationships teach this lesson. You cling to him because you're afraid to start again. You fear the silence. You fear the unknown. But silence is not the enemy. It is the birthplace of strength. When you stop answering his late night text, when you stop explaining your worth, when you stop waiting for him to choose you, you're not being cold. You're being wise. Because love should not be a battlefield where you fight to be seen. Letting go is your victory dance. Notice how your body feels when you finally release what you've been forcing. Relief, lightness, freedom. Like the moment you clean out an old closet and suddenly have space to breathe, to dream, to move. Life works the same way. You cannot receive new blessings with hands full of old baggage. You cannot meet the right people when your time is wasted on the wrong ones. A famous actress once said she lost her biggest film deal and thought her career was over. But months later, the opportunity of a lifetime knocked. She said, if I had begged to stay in that old role, I would have missed my breakthrough. This is life's secret. Rejection is not the end. It is redirection. And only those who let go can be guided to greater. Even in friendships, you know that one person who only calls when they need something? The friend who drains your joy, your energy, your confidence. The moment you stop replying, stop showing up, stop saving them, your life blooms. Your peace grows. Your days fill with real connections. Because letting go is not losing a friend. It's making room for real ones. And it is the same with dreams that no longer fit. You wanted that career, that plan, that path, but life closed the door. Good. Because maybe you are meant for more. Maybe that rejection was protection. But you'll never know unless you release the grip. Only empty hands can catch something new. Only free hearts can fall in love again. Only quiet minds can hear destiny whisper. Confidence is the loudest language you can ever speak. And yet it requires no words. You can enter a room without saying a single sentence and still shift the energy. Still make heads turn. Still be felt. Why? Because confidence radiates from within. It is in your walk, your eyes, your posture, your calm silence. When you truly believe in yourself, you don't need to prove it to anyone. The world just feels it. They sense the woman who doesn't beg, who doesn't explain, who doesn't seek permission to be who she is. Think of the woman who enters a meeting room, dressed simply, no flashy brand labels, no exaggerated makeup, but she sits straight, looks everyone in the eye, and smiles like she owns the world. Everyone leans in, everyone listens. She hasn't even spoken, but her energy has. This is the magic of true confidence. It doesn't shout. It doesn't chase attention. It pulls attention in without effort. On the street, have you noticed the difference between someone walking fast with their head down, avoiding every glance, versus the one who walks slow, shoulders relaxed, eyes forward, fully present? One of them is surviving, the other is thriving. And confidence is the difference. The woman who carries herself like she belongs, even in the most unfamiliar room, is the one who will own that space sooner or later. Social media teaches this lesson every day. The ones who post endless selfies, who write long captions begging for validation, they are loud but not confident. The ones who post rarely, who share their thoughts fearlessly, who do not care for likes or followers, they are the ones people watch the closest. Why? Because their confidence speaks when they are silent. They do not need applause to feel worthy. They are the applause. A mother who walks into her child's school with calm grace, standing in a room full of noisy opinions and judgments, holding her truth, knowing who she is, that's confidence. She doesn't need to argue. She doesn't need to prove her parenting. Her certainty, her inner peace is her power. And the world feels it. The teachers, the parents, even the strangers can't help but respect the quiet dignity she carries. Even in relationships, confidence changes the game. The girl who needs constant texting, reassurance, and attention becomes predictable. But the woman who says, I know my worth, whether you call or not, she becomes unforgettable. She does not fear silence. She does not fear being alone. Her solitude is sacred, not empty. That scares insecure people, but it attracts real ones. The ones who value depth, strength, mystery. In the workplace, who gets noticed first? Not the one who speaks the most, but the one who speaks with certainty. Not the one who interrupts, but the one who listens, waits, and then delivers one clear, sharp sentence that changes the whole conversation. Confidence is not noise. It's impact. It's the quiet moment that makes everyone pause, because they know you mean what you say. Even when you fail, confidence shines. A confident person fails with grace. She says, I lost, but I am not a loser. I fell, but I rise higher. She does not beg for pity. She does not shrink in defeat. And the world watches her, secretly wishing they could carry that much strength, that much peace, even in storms. A famous designer once shared that the most powerful models are not the prettiest, they are the most confident. The ones who walk the runway as if the world belongs to them. The ones who don't doubt their beauty, their uniqueness. And because they believe it, so does everyone watching. Even in silence, confidence echoes. It fills the air, the room, the hearts of people around. No need to announce it, no need to post it, no need to prove it. Confidence is the sound you hear when a powerful soul simply exists. What you chase runs away. This is the hidden law of life no one teaches you in school. The more desperately you reach for something, whether it's love, success, attention, or validation, the more it slips from your grasp. It's like chasing a butterfly in a field. The faster you run after it, the faster it flutters away. But the moment you sit still, calmly, in your peace, the butterfly returns and rests on your shoulder. This is the mystery of attraction. You receive when you no longer crave. Think about relationships. The man you beg to stay, the one you keep texting, calling, explaining your worth to, he pulls away, loses interest, becomes distant. Why? Because neediness suffocates desire. People want what they cannot fully have. The woman who stops chasing and starts glowing alone becomes a magnet. Suddenly he wonders where she went, why she's silent, why she's smiling without him. Because the moment you stop proving your value, they finally see it. Even success runs away from the desperate. The job interview you stress over, where you over-prepare, overthink every word, you stumble. But the interview where you walk in relaxed, knowing you deserve the room, where you speak from calm confidence, that's when they lean forward and listen. Because they can feel you are not desperate to be chosen. You are already complete with or without their offer. And that power makes you irresistible. Look at friendships. You know that friend who never values your time, who ignores your calls, who only reaches out when they need something. The more you chase them, the less they respect you. But the moment you stop texting first, stop showing up uninvited, stop caring so much, they suddenly wonder where you went. They start chasing you. Because what is always available is rarely valued. Scarcity creates respect. Even money follows this law. People who panic over every rupee, who stress over every bill, who chase wealth with greed, they often stay broke, tired, unsatisfied. But the person who works with passion, who serves with joy, who trusts the process, money flows to them. Because wealth loves confidence. It loves ease, not fear. The more you trust abundance, the more abundance comes. In the world of social media, this is seen every day. The person who begs for followers, who posts constantly for attention, who craves validation, they are ignored. But the one who creates content for the joy of it, who posts what they love without caring for likes, they suddenly go viral. Because authenticity is rare. And what is rare is always chased, never chasing. Even with dreams, this truth whispers. When you force a path, when you cling to a plan that isn't flowing, life resists you. But the moment you let go, take a breath, allow life to surprise you, doors open, opportunities come without warning. The universe does not respond to begging, it responds to trust. Remember the school days. The kid who tried so hard to fit in, they were often the ones left out. But the quiet kid who read books, who did their own thing, who wasn't trying, they attracted true friends, real respect. Because when you stop needing to belong, you naturally belong everywhere. In fitness too, this law lives. The woman who obsesses over weight loss, who stresses over every meal, her body holds stress, stores fat, resists change. But the woman who enjoys movement, who dances, who eats mindfully but without fear, her body transforms with ease. Because flow, not force, creates lasting results. In love, success, wealth, dreams, this rule holds its ground. When you let go of obsession, when you release the chase, when you trust that what's meant will find you, you become unstoppable. The energy of not needing draws everything you once begged for. Your growth is your revenge, not your anger, not your words, not your tears. Growth, becoming so evolved, so elevated, so strong, that the very people who once doubted you can no longer reach you. They see you rising, glowing, winning, and suddenly they realize they can no longer touch you, no longer disturb your peace, no longer play with your worth. This is the sweetest form of revenge, because it's silent. You don't scream, you don't argue, you don't explain. You simply become so much more than they ever thought possible. Think about the girl they laughed at in school, because she was shy, quiet, always sitting at the back, unnoticed. She didn't fight back with words. She didn't try to fit in. She studied, she grew, she worked late nights in silence, while the world was partying. Years later, she walks into the same town, driving the car they all dreamt of, wearing the confidence they never imagined she could carry. She doesn't say a word, because her success says everything. Or the woman whose heart was broken by a man who thought she couldn't live without him. He left thinking she'd beg, that she'd fall apart. But she chose growth. She hit the gym, started her own business, traveled the world, built friendships that fed her soul. And now when he sees her life, her laughter, her freedom, her power, he realizes he lost something rare. Her growth was her revenge. Not shouting, not begging, evolving. Even in the workplace, this truth lives. The employee who was ignored, mocked, passed over for promotion, she could have become bitter. She could have fought small fights. But instead, she upgraded her skills, learned new things, started her own side hustle. 2 years later, she owns her own company. The same boss who disrespected her now sends clients to her business. Growth is louder than complaints. Success is sharper than revenge. Your body can be your revenge. The people who body shamed you, who laughed at your weight or your looks, they deserve no argument. They deserve no explanation. They deserve to watch your transformation in silence. The moment you choose fitness not for them, but for yourself, your energy shifts. You walk differently. You smile brighter. They see the glow and feel the distance. Because you are no longer the version of you they tried to break. Even your peace is revenge. The ones who stirred drama, who spread lies, who tried to ruin your name, they want your anger. They want your reaction. But when you remain calm, when you smile and keep shining, it drives them mad. Your peace is proof that they failed to shake you. Your inner silence is louder than their noise. Friends who betrayed you, let them watch you build a circle of real people, of love and loyalty. Let them see you celebrated by those who truly value you. No fights needed, no explanations given. Just growth so big they cannot escape it. Your mindset is your revenge. The moment you choose healing over hatred, joy over jealousy, creation over competition, you win. Because no enemy can defeat a woman who keeps growing, no matter what they throw at her. They pushed you to break. You built instead. Even time becomes your revenge. The people who wasted yours, who made you wait, made you doubt, made you suffer, they realize too late that you used that same time to become unstoppable. Every book you read, every skill you learned, every quiet plan you made in the dark, it all blooms now, right in front of their eyes. This is the beauty of growth as revenge. It turns every insult into fuel, every rejection into direction, every failure into foundation. You rise so high, they have to look up to see you. And that view, that regret in their eyes is the loudest revenge of all. Your energy sets your standard. The way you show up, the way you carry yourself, the vibe you release into the world, it tells people everything about how they should treat you. You don't even have to speak. Your energy speaks for you. It says, I am worthy, or it says, I am desperate. It says, respect me, or it says, you can walk all over me. Every single day, you are teaching people how to approach you. Not with words, but with the energy you radiate. Look at the woman who walks into a room with her head high, shoulders relaxed, smiling softly, not because she's arrogant, but because she knows who she is. People notice. They adjust their tone, their posture, their respect, because her energy sets a boundary before she even opens her mouth. Now look at the one who slouches, who avoids eye contact, who doubts herself. The world picks up on that too. And that energy becomes an invitation for disrespect, for doubt, for being overlooked. Your energy controls your relationships. When you give off the vibe of, I'll tolerate anything just to keep you close, people will test you. They will take more than they give. They will call when they want, leave when they want, return when they want. Because your energy says you'll wait. But when you shift your energy to, I am complete with or without you, everything changes. Suddenly they step carefully. They value your time. They respect your space. Because now they feel they could lose you. And no one wants to lose what they can't control. Even in friendships, your energy sets the tone. The friend who never calls back, who cancels last minute, who gossips behind your back, they do this because your energy has allowed it. The day you shift and silently pull away, the day you stop laughing at their small jokes, stop giving them your time, they feel it. Your energy says, I deserve more than this. And they either rise to meet your standard or they fall away. In the workplace, this truth is golden. The woman who sits quietly, who never asks for a raise, who stays late without complaint, her energy says, use me. But the woman who walks in with purpose, who negotiates her worth, who sets clear boundaries, her energy says, respect me. And guess what? She gets more. She rises faster. Not because she works harder, but because her energy sets a higher price. Even strangers feel your energy. The person who serves you coffee, the cashier at the store, the stranger on the street, they react not to your clothes or your looks, but to your vibe. When you carry warmth, confidence, peace, people smile, doors open, opportunities find you. But when you carry stress, bitterness, desperation, you block the flow of grace, of chance. Love, relationships run on this law. When you're obsessed with someone, when you text and call and worry constantly, your energy screams lack and they run. But when you detach, focus on your life, your joy, your peace, they feel your abundance. They come closer. They wonder why they are no longer the center of your world. That shift of energy changes everything. You go from chasing to being chased. Even with dreams, your energy decides the outcome. You can start a business out of fear and struggle, or you can start it out of excitement, belief, passion, and watch it soar. Energy builds empires or destroys them. It's not the idea, it's the energy behind the idea that makes the difference. Every day, you are sending signals to the universe. Your posture, your habits, your thoughts, they all carry energy. They whisper to life, I am ready for abundance, or I am stuck in fear. And life responds perfectly. When your energy rises, your life rises. When your energy commands greatness, greatness comes. This is why some people attract miracles. They expect them. Their energy leaves no room for anything less. So here you are, standing at the edge of your own greatness, wondering if you should hold on to the noise of the world or listen to the quiet, unstoppable power within you. Let me tell you something that no one tells you enough. The world will only value you as much as you value yourself. The way you set your energy, the way you protect your peace, the way you demand respect without uttering a word, this is how you teach people to treat you. And when you stop explaining yourself, when you stop chasing what runs away, when you stop begging for crumbs and start building an empire within you, that's the moment the game changes forever. Never forget this. You are not meant to chase anyone or anything. You are not created to run after people who can't see your worth. The sun never chases the planets. They revolve around its energy. You too are meant to shine so brightly, so fiercely, that the right ones orbit you naturally. They feel your power. They respect your boundaries. They crave your presence. But you can only become this woman when you choose growth over revenge, silence over argument, peace over chaos. Your energy will tell your story before your words ever can. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Not to your ex who didn't see your value. Not to the friends who outgrew you, betrayed you, or left you behind. Not to the world that doubted you. No, your success, your glow up, your quiet peace will become the loudest voice they will ever hear. Let them watch as you rise higher than they ever imagined. Let them see you build the life they secretly envy. Because darling, the best revenge is not anger, it is excellence. The best closure is not words. It is glowing so fiercely that they can't even look without feeling the burn of regret. Remember this truth and let it pierce your heart. What you chase runs away. The moment you need, you lose power. The moment you need, you lose mystery. But when you shift, when you turn your back on desperation and walk into your own purpose, the world follows. You stop texting first, they message you. You stop waiting, opportunities knock. You stop proving, and they suddenly notice what they lost. That's the irony of life. What you let go of returns. But by then,